Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about second part of environmental engineering. Actually, environmental engineering started in 1858 in London. As you said, the idea actually emerged in 1858 in London. It was accidental. What actually happened was that there is a big, huge, very famous river in London named Thames. This river Thames was used to dump all kinds of city sewer, all kinds of garbage, all kinds of human waste, excrement, animal dung, every single thing was dumped into the river. And at the same time, people were drinking the water from the same river, River Thames. At the time, the knowledge, hygienic knowledge or health-related knowledge or medical knowledge was not that flourished that people can distinguish between contaminated water and uncontaminated water, purified water and impurified water, health-threatening water and health-giving water. They knew that all the city sewers, entire system, was fed to River Thames. Every single thing, all kinds of dirt and filth and all kinds of toilet tanks and toilet pipes and every single thing was emptied in River Thames. But still people were using the same river's water for their drinking purposes, for their pot purposes. Now, one season was extraordinarily hot. It was so hot and humid, and the rain did not fall. What actually happened was that most of the water of the river Thames evaporated. Water was almost gone. And when water was evaporated, they found that the human excrement, human waste, and all kinds of other sludge and all kinds of waste and all kinds of impurities found out. It was sitting in the bottom of the Thames. Since water evaporated, River Thames emitted unbearable stink. Stink was so bad that people all over the area of London and the suburb area could not breathe properly. Such a stink was known as Great Stink. Stink means bad smell that we feel in the gutters and the sewers and the toilets. That kind of stink emerged from the river Thames. When this kind of stink emerged, that was known as a great stink. People started complaining to government, and the government started cleaning up the sludge of the river Thames. Cleaning up efforts started, and they not only cleaned up, but they also started thinking about how to prevent the futuristic problems, what we can do that the city sewer does not get emptied into River Thames. And that was the time that environmental engineering was born. Environmental engineers started thinking about the solution of future-related problems, how we cannot have problems again like great stink of London, and how we can have city sewers and other drainage system not emptying into the River Thames. They began planning better plans and keep River Thames water uncontaminated, purified, and healthy, hygienic enough for the people to drink it. They devised all kinds of plans, all kinds of projects, scientific and based on common sense, and That was the incident, in a kind of accidental incident which begetted environmental engineering. So I prepared 5 points in that regard. Point number first is dumping city shores and human excrement, human waste into river Thames. There is no any other way. There is no other way to treat city shores and a drainage system and the human excrement. No other system was available. So they started dumping all kinds of impurities and all kinds of dirt and filth and all kinds of waste, human waste and animal waste, every single thing into river Thames. And the river Thames water was so contaminated that when water evaporated because of the extraordinary heat, then people found out that below the water there was nothing but all kinds of sludge, all kinds of sewer sludge, all kinds of human excrement and animal excrement and human waste, animal waste and all kinds of contaminated, filthy things. Point number 2 is polluted and contaminated water of River Thames was used as drinking potable water. Now people were drinking that water. What happened was that cholera spread in London was a perennial scenario, a perennial problem. People were suffering from cholera almost every home. In every home, the people suffered from cholera because at that time, understanding about the cholera was not that ripe to understand that cholera comes from the dirty, filthy water drinking. When we drink contaminated water, impurified water, unboiled water, raw water from the well or raw water from the reservoirs or ponds or lakes, then cholera strikes. They did not have that kind of understanding at all. So thousands of people in London and in surrounding areas were suffering from cholera and dying from cholera. Point number 3, hot weather evaporated all the waters and left all kinds of excrements and human waste, animal waste and the sewer system and drainage system waste into the river Thames. One season, the temperature was abnormally hot. And at that kind of hot temperature evaporated most of the water of the river Thames. And the people, at their surprise, they found out that as soon as the water evaporated, they found that there was nothing below the water but all kinds of sludge, all kinds of sleet, all kinds of dirt and filth of human excrement, human waste, animal waste and all that. Water was gone. Now there was only the dross left. And that dross was emitting unbearable stink. And that stink was known as Great Stink of London. The stink was so profuse, so excruciating that people could not breathe properly. People started complaining to government that we cannot breathe. Do something about river Thames garbage and the sleet and the sludge. And the government did it. And then government started working on it. And during that process, the environmental engineering was created, was discovered, was found. Point number 5, environmental engineering born out of Great Stink of London. So Great Stink of London was unfortunately a miserable event, a pathetic event, which killed so many people. But like they say, every dark cloud has silver lining. So this episode was a dark episode, but it also had a silver lining, and this silver lining was that it gave ideas, or it created or struck the idea in the mind of the people. Sprung up the ideas in the mind of the people over there educated people that we should do something about river, Thames, and try to keep its water uncontaminated, drinkable, potable, clean, hygienic, and healthy. So what to do? So divert all the sewer system, drainage system, human waste sources, animal waste sources to somewhere else, and it must not be fed into the water of river Thames. And today, environmental engineering is considered to be very defining stream in engineering field. Thank you very much for listening. Tomorrow we're going to talk about something else. That's all the time we have for today. God bless all of us on this planet. Bye.